Hi, this is Kyle Branche, bartender Los Angeles, and I want to show you my private custom bar kit for private parties. Let me show you what's going on top of the bar. There's a lot of cool things here. Looks like a little bit of a circus of things. You know, you don't have to always have everything like this, and sometimes I don't. It depends on the size of the party. So let's start off with the front. We've got some nice napkins fanned out here, right? We've got some small garnish trays, medium garnish trays, and I have some larger ones for larger parties for a lot of limes and lemons and oranges and things like that. But for purposes here, I just want to show you the basic layout and spread out. It's a 6-foot by 3-foot bar, which is very cool because it allows for a lot of things to be on the bar top as opposed to some shortened version up here where you have a lot less space. This area right here is usually for some of the spirit bottles to be put up here. Now, there's also a back table that we don't have set up because we really don't need that. I can just show you and tell you that it's a 6-foot by 3-foot usually too, but I don't have a bunch of beverage bottles back there today, but that is something that you would also have too. So this is set up like that. We've got this infusion jar, but it really doubles as like, you know, an ice cold water, or it could be lemonade or iced tea in here for people to serve themselves. You could have some cucumber slices or some lemon or orange or limes or whatever you want to put in there, even berries, something to make it look nice on the inside besides just flat water, even though there'd be ice in it too, okay? We'll come around here. Actually, to start back here, this is a champagne bucket, and I'll put ice and champagne here so I have that separate from what I'm going to show you back there in a little while. This is a soda siphon that I sometimes bring to parties, just, you know, for conversation pieces because you don't always see people use these too much. This is a salt shaker, which is very cool. A friend of mine, Stan Davis, created these out of the tops of 1800 tequila bottles. So he took the cork off, and then he repositioned a washer on top with this stainless steel piece on top, and then we just, you know, we got salt for tequila, lime. Some people like that, some people don't. But that's a cool looking piece just the way that it is too. Okay, besides the garnish trays, you're wondering what these small bottles are, right? You can see these. Well, this is dry vermouth, and that is sweet vermouth. So in the martini glasses at parties, there's a little bit of flair like this. Looks really, really cool when I that in.
Martini glasses, so it looks nice. Now sweet vermouth.
For Manhattans and Rob Roy's, customers usually like a little bit more of this, so I can always just pop off the bottle and put some more in.
We have spill mats.
Okay, come around. These tiles are like just for aesthetic purposes, you know, have a nice color set up here. Now for the top, you'll notice that this is just a black linen on top. It's good because you don't want white, because if you spill cranberry or Cabernet, then you're going to have a stain forever and you're going to have to position everything else just to cover it up. So, but you can also have like a southwestern blanket over the top, or some different colors. You can put a complete Formica laminate on top that's 6 foot by 3 foot. So there's a lot of color variations that you can consider using for creative purposes, okay? This I put here is another infusion type of jar, but you can use like a custom shooter. If somebody wants, a client wants a nice shooter for the party, you can set it up in here, have it ice cold, and then just have little shot glasses that put it right here, and boom, 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 and you're done. This is a 1935 shaker that sometimes I bring to parties with some other different old shakers I bring that I like to use once in a while for, you know, 4 or 5 cocktails of the same at one time. It's a nice combination piece too. 1935. All right, let's come on back around. By the way, this is Herb Polsky, my videographer. Say hello, Herb.
Hello, Herb.
Okay, shaker tins, Boston shaker. That goes like this. Everybody's seen that before. This is a bit of a short shaker. This is another short shaker. These are my bullets, my 16s, which are both here, and my 28s, which are both here. And I use tops now. These bullets used to have these stainless steel tops, but they used to pop off, and at night I'd end up losing some of them in the grass or wherever I was at parties. So I use this large 1.75 liter bottle top. As you can tell, it's branded, but it fits perfect like that. I mean, these are almost better than the original tops, so I'm going to let them stay there. I've got a bottle of bitters. I've got the pours for the pour tops for certain bottles. Now check these two things out. Obviously there's a funnel here as well for juices that I'll show you that go down into some bottles that I transfer, because sometimes you'll see some big bottles of cranberry juice. And it's just too much weight. You don't need to lift that type of thing all the time. So you just funnel it into into a smaller glass jar or a carafe, which I'll show you in a minute here. It just makes things easier. These are the original Tanqueray bottle extenders. Now Bombay came out with these too. They had two blue ones. I had two blue ones and two green ones that a sales rep from one of the liquor distributors gave me when I was bartending downtown Los Angeles many moons ago. I still am lucky enough to have these two. These screw on the top of those bottles, and they also end up fitting on the 750 or the 1 liter Kettle One bottles as well. So that's cool. Those are nice to have around. Okay, let's come back around here. We'll finish up with this and we'll go down below. This is my garnish cutting board. This is for twist. This is usually I put up here if I have some green olives or something up here. I'll just kind of go like that so people can grab them themselves. Anyway, I got the jiggers for the measures if I ever feel like using those. Sometimes I still like to use jiggers even though I don't have to. I like to use it because it has a little bit of a professional look and flair to it as well. We know what that is. Juice squeezer. Okay. Muddler. In case you're muddling some berries and things like that and you want to keep some remnants out from the bottom, so you got to have a bunch of seedlings and stuff like that, you can just, when you're shaking, just go right over the top of the glass so it's a little bit cleaner when it comes out. Hey, I like to have a camera too, in case there's some cool things I want to see. Take some pictures at the party. These are if an area of the party where I'm at happens to be dark and the lighting isn't that great, because sometimes, when I'm doing a lot of private parties, I do so many of them, and I've done so many over the years after I left Lakeside in 2002, that sometimes you're walking into a mystery. You really don't know what you're going to, lighting-wise, the situations. You talk to the client, sometimes you already know, but sometimes you don't. So just in case, I like to put these finger lights on. I did this at a party a few weeks ago, and they're very, very cool. And everybody just complimented on them, because when I'm making drinks in the bar top, and I put these on, obviously it's light out today. Doing this at night, you'd be able to see a little bit better, so I'm not going to turn the lights on. But you're making drinks like this, and nothing bothers you when you're making cocktails. I can shake and do anything with these little lights, but they're very cool. And it just becomes this little thing here, and it's in the dark, and it looks really awesome like that, and people get a big kick out of it. So those are nice, and you can have more than one on each hand too, so it's kind of cool. Anyway, we got the long bar spoon. A couple of the tools here. We're coming down. Okay, let's back up over there, Herb, and I want to show what I have for trash cans. I have this one, and I have an identical one on the other side. And then I have this one here, blue, for recycled bottles, because I always like to recycle at private parties, keeps things clean. And then over here, I have it so I can put my bags of ice in, so there's no drippage anywhere on the back patio or even inside a large home. If you want to keep things cool and clean for them. Okay, these are my tubs. You come back here, I've got these TV trays. Boom, boom, boom. These are my tubs. 1, 2, 3. This is my drink ice tub. This is my tub for beers and wine bottles and champagne, beer bottles as well. For sodas, you can see the bottles back here. That's for the juices, orange, pineapple, cranberry, apple, grape, whatever they're going to have. It can be any kind of thing, pomegranate as well. So those are back here. I've got some backup carafes down here. I have some backup pitchers if I want to make some pitcher drinks that the client may prefer. And this I use as a backup optional replacement for the infusion jar up here, because if people are drinking beer quite a bit, I want them to be able to serve themselves too as an option. So I'll pull this baby up, which, isn't the most attractive thing like this, but once you fill it up with ice and full of beers, actually it holds about 18 bottles, and it's super thick and doesn't leak. It's very cool. And I'll put that on top, and I'll just keep replacing that with the beers I have in here. So it's a nice rotation that you'll have going on. Okay. Good. Here's one last thing I want to show you, is these spill mats, these rubber bar mats. Now, if you've ever tended bar before for any length of period of time, there's some places that you'll walk in and you're shocked that they don't even have any. Well, for private parties, I like to have these. I got these like at Home Depot for like 25 bucks a piece. They're 3x3 slabs of rubber. But you could stand on these for a few hours. And then if you take them away and just stand, that's when you notice the difference of how much easier it is on your back and your body and your fatigue and your energy level for the long run during a night. Just, you know, you happen to have, I can work parties anywhere from 5 hours to 9 or 10 hours sometimes, depending on the length and the activities that are going on and how long they prefer me to be there. So anyway, these mats are a real blessing to have at parties. A little bit of lift. I've got a truck where I can put all of this in, of course, in the back and just take it, and it's much easier that way. Doing all this type of thing as a private bartender, if you had a car, would be almost impossible. Anyway, let me tell you about this table. This is one last thing we'll grab at. So I'm going to come down here now. Now, if you can come closer over here, Herb, I want to show you. This 6 foot by 3 foot banquet table is really cool because it's got a
Super strong center support.
Now, a lot of these tables don't, so you can't put up a bunch of bottles or else it's eventually just going to kind of get weak over time and cave in. This thing is super strong. I don't need this type of a 6 foot by 3 foot banquet table with that type of center support for the back bar table, but it's always good to have one that way. I don't, but I've got a pretty strong table the way that it is. But last thing I want to show you is this is a banquet table. I got these PVC tubes to lift it up to bar height, which is much more professional because you don't want to have the thing way down where, you know, 3 foot when you're looking down making drinks all day long. That just looks too, well, not bar-like, put it that way. So these PVC tubes are 16 inches, and the foot of this table is about 4 inches, or about right down to here. So when you lift these up, this is like 3/4, and you just get these cut at a hardware store. These are about, I think, 4 of them. I've got 8 because I've got 4 more just as a backup in the truck, but these 4 total are like $5. I mean, it's not even that expensive at all, but they do the job, and they're very sturdy, and it makes the table look much better and stronger. People love this type of a bar setup when they're at I have it at parties for them. So that's it. They just cut them off 4 inches. It lifts the table up about a perfect foot, 12 inches, and there you see it. All through here. Obviously, I've got my ice scoop here too, right? And get a sizable ice scoop. Don't get these dinky little things. Get something where you can knock some glasses of ice out at one time instead of 1 glass at one time. You can get 3 glasses of ice in here. And last but not least, the most important thing is have your bar towels ready. You want to be able to keep things clean for your customers and for the client, and always be cleaning up and looking really, really cool and professional behind the bar. So, I think we're finished, except one last cool thing, and that is have your business cards out here. My website is kylescocktailhotel.com. That's K-Y-L-E-S, cocktailhotel.com. And my brand new blog of stories and encounters of my experiences as a professional and private bartender and bartender to the stars in Los Angeles is labartender.wordpress.com. That's labartender.wordpress.com.